Hey, we are, I'm still at the studio, and I've just been gathering the information on the so-called Epstein client release. Right and I've just been, I just talked to Liz Wheeler, and I was just watching her podcast because she has some additional information. But we've gone through the list, and Jason is here, our Chief Researcher, Jason. What was in this big briefing that was given by the president and everybody else today?
So we went through the entire 20-plus page dump that was released through the through the DOJ or the FBI. It's on the website now. It's public information. And it is the biggest disappointment, I think, that you'll find. I encourage you to do your own homework on this. It's mostly procedural jargon, Glenn, heavily redacted. Basically no new information. Little bitty tidbits, but again, it's inconsequential. It's just procedural stuff. It's bad.
So they were talking, this was going to be release that everybody has been waiting for. Apparently, with the president, vice president, Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel in the room, Liz Wheeler and others were told this morning, given this binder, which has absolutely nothing in it, and they were told that by Pam Bondi and the president that she had, because the president asked, ordered for the release of this. Kash Patel delivered it to her desk last week. They were going through it. They expected this to be full of everything that Kash Patel has told me he has seen in the past, but there was nothing. There was nothing left in it. And Liz reports that she was told that the feeling from Pam Bondi and others is that the Southern District of New York, the FBI in the Southern District of New York, actually has the tapes and everything else and will not turn it over to the White House or to Pam Bondi. If that is true, and I understand Liz correctly, and Liz is going to be on my radio program tomorrow and my podcast tomorrow to talk about her experience. If that indeed is true, then we have a civil war on our hands, an internal civil war. You have a duly elected president, his duly elected confirmed leaders of the FBI and the Department of Justice, and then you have the Southern District of New York FBI and Department of Justice bucking the orders of the president and their direct bosses. There is no other way to describe it. If that is true, there is no other way to describe it than you have a department, or two departments, under the president that are in complete rebellion. And that would have to be, that's not something you take a Doge scalpel to. That's something you take an axe to, and you cut it out, because that's a cancer, and it is a rebellious cancer, and honestly, a civil war against the president and his duly processed appointees. This is not what I expected from Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and the president and the vice president, and I take them at this point at their word because I know them. I know how serious each of them are about rooting out this cancer. But this looks really, really horrible for the president, because what others will say is, well, this is just the same old stuff, and names of people that they were friends of were on, and so they had to blame it on somebody else. Well, I just don't believe that of the president and Kash and Pam. I know the passionate response in private about these names and about this list, and how Kash in particular couldn't wait to release this. He is he is a dog with a bone. He is on a mission, and so is the president, and I believe Pam Bondi is too, on a mission to rat this evil out. if it's true, we're in civil war. The state is at civil war with itself. If it's not true, then we will see this administration not move against the Southern District of New York. If I were President Trump, and I got to give him the benefit of the doubt here, because I think this is, giving him the benefit of the doubt, he is focused on Russia and everything else. But if I were Donald Trump, and no matter what I had planned, if I had an agency in rebellion, I would get on my plane and I would fly to New York and I would personally fire every single person, and I'd put a padlock on that door in Southern District of New York. That's what the president, I believe, should do if, I understand what Liz is saying is correct, and if it is indeed true. You cannot tolerate this. We already have 70 lawsuits internally from people who work in the administration, suing the administration, trying to stop the duly elected president who is the CEO of the administration. These people think they don't work for the President of the United States. The President of the United States was elected and given a mandate. He was hired and duly elected, winning the popular vote and the Electoral College. To do what? To do exactly what he's doing. Clean this rat's nest of lies and vipers up and fire everybody if he has to. If you don't work for the president and you're in the administration, whom do you work for? Congress? Because the administration is not constitutionally part of Congress. It's part of the administration. That's the executive branch. So if you constitutionally can't work for Congress, I know you don't work for the judiciary, and you say you don't work for the president, who hired you? Who can fire you? You say, well, I'm working for the American people. We don't even know who you are, quite honestly. None of us know who you are. None of us elected you. We elected the president. If all of these things are true, and we should know by tomorrow, President Trump, I beg you, go personally to New York and fire all of these people and set an example. This cannot stand. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the radio.